Hops and Stocks podcast is presented by 100 Spoke Media Group. We encourage our listeners to drink responsibly. Please note, we are not financial advisors. We do not offer or provide financial advice.
I'm Spoke affiliated from the city of Gems.
Welcome back to the Hops and Stocks podcast, brought to you by 100 Spoke Media Group. This is episode 58.
What up? What up?
We got special guests with us, Bryan Heyward. Bryan is owner of the Heyward Group, LLC insurance company, and former D1 athlete, played for Western Kentucky. I was about to say Western Michigan.
Hilltoppers? Is that the Hilltoppers?
The Hilltoppers, without question.
Is that the funny looking red dude?
Absolutely, the red grimace, absolutely.
Grimace.
Western down here in Bowling Green, right?
Yeah, Bowling Green. Yep. Bowling Green,
yeah.
Kentucky. Yep.
He's a little scary looking, man. I think the eyes don't quite sit right on him.
Are you in Nash, Vegas? You right down the street.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's about 50 miles from here.
Yeah. We had plenty of fun at Tennessee State and Fisk and Jefferson Street, and you know how it go. Absolutely.
Yeah,
if we wasn't nothing popping on the yard, we was right down to Tennessee State without question.
Hey, what's wrong with Vanderbilt? You didn't go to Vanderbilt?
Nah, Vanderbilt wasn't popping. Yeah.
Hey, we snuck in Vanderbilt's cafe, man. It was like
he don't
5
know.
star.
He don't know.
Was Lil Nash around them, Blast?
When you got hungry, you gotta go to Vanderbilt.
I don't know. I don't really know the origins of B Nash.
Yeah, Tennessee State.
But
man,
yeah,
we had a good time
Doug,
down
to your
there.
point, man. If you know, you know about the Vanderbilt calf.
Okay, if you know, you know. Okay, gotcha.
Hold on. Are we missing a story here?
Nah, I mean, our boy got us in the calf, and I mean, it, compared to like UC's calf, man, this was like 5-star eating, man.
Oh man.
Okay. But have you ever went to the calf at TSU though during lunchtime with the DJ and everything?
I was there one time, man, and I mean, it wasn't for me, man. Like the greens looked a little it was a different type of green in there, man. I'm like, I don't know about that.
Yeah, bro. We wasn't there for the food, family.
Right, yeah. I mean, you wouldn't go there for the food. They for the candy. All for the candy.
right.
Could dig it, man. Damn. I don't know why I can't talk, man. How's everybody week going?
Right, because you got that Tennessee Titans stuff on, man. Aren't you a Philly fan, man? What the hell, man? What's going on, man?
Man, I'm a Philly fan. I live in Tennessee. I got season tickets to the Titans, so you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he breaks bread with the Titans, man.
Yeah, plus I feel like this, man. If they was NFC, then you wouldn't see me rock it at all. But they AFC, so it ain't no conflict.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Same thing as I root for the Bengals. It ain't no conflict. You'll never see me with another NFC team on for sure. Like if I move to Tampa, I'm not wearing Buccaneer stuff.
What about Cowboys?
Hell no, bro. That's never happening. But like I said, I mean, if Eagles play the Titans, it's Philly all day, and I got more Philly gear than I got Titans gear. I just like the hoodie.
What part of town you live in Nashville?
I lived in Germantown, right by the Sound Stadium.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, because my wife from Nashville, so
okay, that's
her family is like where her grandma is Bardo. I don't know if you know Bardo, right off Trinity Lane.
Off Rosa Parks.
Yeah, Rosa Parks. And then we got people in what's that? Dickerson Pike.
Okay.
We in Cool Springs. We in Franklin. Where else we in? We in is it Gallatin? What
Gallatin?
Gallatin. Yeah. So we are. Yeah. I know the 615 very well. Very well.
You got an office? You got an office there?
Nah.
That sounds like office.
I need to. I need to.
Like
I need to. But I go down there because that's where she from. So
when the last time you been down?
I haven't been. I want to say last time I've been down maybe about 3 or 4 months ago. We were probably going down there for Christmas for sure.
I was about to say, man, I don't know if you've been on Dickerson Pike, but yeah, it don't look like they starting to gentrify the heck out of that area.
Man, they didn't gentrify that. They didn't gentrify Church Street. They didn't gentrify Jefferson. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, before the Princess burned down, as soon as I got off the highway, we had to hit Princess on Dickerson Pike without question. You know what I mean? Without question. off the
go there,
muscle.
you come out smoking like straight grease, man. I'm like, they be like, yeah, it's gonna be an hour and a half wait. I'm like, man, I'll sit in the car.
Yeah. But yeah, all that. Yeah. Nashville, good fun times. But yeah, they gentrifying it real bad. And then they done all the Mexicans over there off with Bell Road, Antioch and everything. I remember that was like Trotwood back in the day, back in the 90s.
Yeah.
It was upscale black, but I don't know what it is now, but you know what I mean. But
Antioch is typically, when you say Antioch, you usually say hood followed right after.
gotcha.
Like if somebody tell me, I mean, shout out, I mean, no diss to Antioch. Like a lot of similar to our neighborhoods in Dayton, a lot of retail places left it, and now it's kind of like
because Hickory Hollow ain't even there no more. That was the mall.
Yeah, so I think a mall left, and they were supposed to get some other stuff, but it hasn't transpired. So it's kind of, you know what I'm saying, people ain't really checking for Antioch, but it's still an opportunity to buy some real estate out there, because eventually Nashville is getting so populated. People are forced to kind of spread out to some of these other areas, and so they're starting to build things. Like I just recently moved, and they done popped the condo complex right in the industrial part of town.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? So it's they just finding any piece of land and just throwing buildings on it.
Yeah, because
you gotta live somewhere.
Right.
Because when they made Cool Springs, I want to say like the late 90s, early 2000s, that was like the downfall of Antioch.
Okay.
Yeah, the Cool Springs Galleria in Franklin, that's when everybody started going out there. And shoot, I remember I remember when it was like country going to like Murfreesboro, but Murfreesboro and Nashville all done kind of grew together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
that's probably what needs to happen to Dayton, Cincinnati, man. They've been talking about that for about 2 decades, man.
Man, we don't want Middletown and Hamilton, man.
you don't want Hamabama?
We're right. We don't want that mesh. We don't want that mesh again, man. We good. You know what I mean?
I can dig it, man, but we obviously we missing our compadre, Mr. What's in This Can. So I'm gonna kick it over to Blast, or Doug. Doug through the can up. Go ahead, man.
Doug through
the can up. Go ahead, man.
I'm ready.
You got it, brother. He was a little upset.
Hey, man.
You don't believe him about Coleman.
Right, man. Hey, last week, B, we was talking about Alton Coleman, man. Cats was scared of that cat.
Yeah, I terrified as a youngster.
Hey, man, what?
You know what I mean? You couldn't be out past 6 o'clock, man. You see a van roll by, you be like, that's Alton Coleman. You know what I mean?
You try to tell him.
Coleman,
you know what I mean?
Coleman tales, man. That's all we are these days.
Just for the record.
Oh, here we go.
He was on my street and I had to run from him.
I got you.
He was on Fairgrove Way. I was leaving my cousin's house. Hey, man, believe me if you want to, man. I got away, though.
I mean, no, when I hate to go down this road, but like when you went in the house, then what happened? Like,
Well, I told my people, but he was gone, man. You know, he ain't gonna stick around and be told on.
I mean, did they want to go out looking for him, or were they?
Man, who wants to go out looking for Alton Coleman?
Nah.
You know, man, you don't go look for that cat, man.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
All right, man. Yeah. Look, I got a collab. I think this is my first collab between Great Lakes and 50 West.
Hey, man, real talk. Your dad would have gave Coleman the business, man.
Nah, man, Coleman was a killer, man.
A legit one.
Hey, this may be our first Pilsner, so I had to bring out the Pilsner glass. I tried to do that fast pour.
You got like 3 inches of foam to get
right. That head big. It's gonna be on my stash.
Pause.
It's all foam. You didn't get any
clean taste, man. That's clean. That's crisp.
It tastes like foam.
No, I'm getting up under the foam.
You got to take 5 sips to get to the juice.
I'm about to kill this mug. It's been one of those days, man.
Man, this guy's not gonna even give us a review.
I'm saying,
I
so
like-
listeners,
no.
while y'all listening, Doug is still drinking.
All right, my bad.
Clean and killable.
It's
Next.
called Interstate Tailgate. I think it's a collab with obviously the Bengals and the Browns.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Great Lakes is a Cleveland based. 50 West is Cincinnati based. This Pilsner's coming in at 5 on the ABV. It's good taste, man. You know you're not gonna get a lot of different type of notes with a Pilsner, but it's something that you can, sit and enjoy yourself, man. Watch the game. Like I said, it's smooth, crisp. You gotta have it cold though. This ain't one of those things that you're gonna let it sit.
Yeah.
But
You don't want that to come up to temp.
right, nah.
Man, so weird question. Are you getting like a bread taste out of that?
Bread, like yeast. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it tastes like beer, bro. I mean, that's what it tastes like.
Is it on the is it on the lines of like Budweiser and Coors? Is that kind of those are lagers though, right?
Yeah, those are lagers.
Okay.
For the listeners, Doug's beer is almost gone.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, this isn't 8 ounce today.
Right.
Man, you're right. Hey, man, you know what? I think for the listeners, Coors Light is my go-to, man. That's what I barbecue with. Coors Light, and it's reminding me of a Coors Light, and that's probably why I'm down in it like I am, because it's bringing me back, man. It ain't no fancy shit. It's a good old Pilsner, and for what it is, I give this 4 1/4.
Highly crushable.
Yes, highly crushable.
Sessionable.
Oh, sessionable. That's what it was.
Yeah. So good job. I mean, I don't know how you collab with the Pilsner. I don't know who did what.
Man.
You know what I mean?
You take some basic ingredients. I take some
Right.
basic
You bring your basic stuff. I bring my basic stuff.
and we're gonna mix it
We're
and
gonna
come
make
out with a
money
better
off of it.
basic.
So that's it, man. 4 1/4. Like I said, I don't think we've had too many Pilsners on here.
Yeah, that might be the first. You might be right.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I was going to review one, but I'm going to switch it up now.
You
Oh,
had
you got
one
a
for
Pilsner?
tonight?
Yeah, I
Nah,
have one for
You
tonight.
mean tell me you had a Pilsner tonight?
Yeah.
Oh, for real? That's crazy.
Yeah, I
Hey,
went and
keep-
bought my
Keep
last
it
4
Pilsner,
beers.
man.
Huh?
Keep it Pilsner.
Well, no, my last 4 beers that when I went to the Honey Hole, I specifically just bought stuff that I don't normally
Oh,
buy.
that's right. I remember you
Yeah.
saying that.
So I could switch it up, and I got an Italian Pilsner as one, but I'll do this other one. I'll do Italian Pilsner next week.
But
All right. Is it on me?
I'll give it up to the Diggs. Go ahead, brother.
Appreciate it. I'm going back to the well, man. This is probably my 3rd Ouzel Finch.
Hey, hold on, time out. You got the sponsorship.
I wish I did, man. They've been treating me so well, man. But no sponsorship. I did grab this joint out of the bargain bin. You see that 99 cents on there?
Oh yeah, you can't be mad at that.
Yeah, but this is I think what I like about them, and I could be wrong on this one, but they all start with sour ale, but none of them are really sour. So this says a sour ale with banana puree, mango puree, pineapple puree, Andean blackberry puree, and vanilla. So somebody went to the Andes to get me some blackberry puree. Party.
I would have bought every one they had.
I think I did get them. They had 2. I think I grabbed them all. It's called Party Dinosaur. Let me see if I can get you guys. Yeah, there he is, T-Rex, and somebody's riding his back.
Okay.
But yeah, out of let's see, Fort Monroe, Virginia. Let me see if I can get you a ABV on this joint. 5.92. Here's the color.
Yeah, it looks thick.
Definitely smelling a little bit of that banana and some of that pineapple.
Man, 99 cents.
Man, that's what I'm saying.
This one's a little more sour than the other ones that I had.
Right.
But it's not gross sour.
I wonder if it's because the reason why it's marked down. I wonder what's the date on it. Like, I wonder if it's nearing its date.
Every time y'all ask me to look at the date, there don't be nothing on the can.
Hey, it's gonna sour his belly later on.
It's got a code on it though. I guess you can scan it and see the can date. Not bad though, man. I would have thought, with the banana, you might get a little more sweet. I'm definitely getting the pineapple, the mango, a little bit of the banana. Not much on the blackberry or the vanilla. Maybe the blackberry might be making it more tart.
Hey, Brian, you mess with craft beer?
Yeah. It's cool. Yeah. Absolutely.
I think I would get this joint. It's tough, man.
In the fours?
On my personal scale, I would give it a 3.75 because I probably wouldn't go back. But for listeners' sake, and if they nailed some of the notes, I think it comes in at a 4.
Yeah. For 99 cents, 4? Man,
that's true too, man. 99 cents. Can't beat that.
That's great value for a 4.
Yeah, let's go with the 4, man. Toss it over to you, E.
All right. This is called Mischief from the brewery. And I just realized, well, I knew I had brewery before, but we actually had an episode named after where they're located, Placenta, California.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was a funny episode right there.
Placentia, California. So this is a hoppy Belgian style ale. And like I mentioned earlier, I'm trying to step outside of my comfort zone of IPAs, sours, and stouts and try different stuff. This is actually checking in at 8.5. So it got some kick to it. Slight, excuse me, quick description. It says this wickedly good gold nail is fiendishly dry hopped to add a layer of complexity to its fruity, crisp Belgian style character. Citrus and resin aromas combined with notes of ripe melon, pear, and slight peppery spice. This actually won a gold medal at the GABF, which is that big
out in
competition
Denver,
out in Colorado in 2016. It was the best American Belgian style ale. Ideal serving temp, 45 degrees. So let me drink this joint real quick.
Yeah, that's chilly.
Nice color.
Yeah, so it's like a golden orange color. This is good. It's not as some Belgian style ales, they're a little hop forward, kind of bitter. This one is well balanced. Are actually getting the notes of melon and pear, which I don't expect from a Belgian style ale. So I'm actually surprised that I'm getting those kind of notes. You do get a hint of pepper on the back, black pepper.
I was going to ask about that. You getting that pepper?
Yeah, it's not spice, but it's just that that black pepper taste. Yeah, this is good. I would definitely revisit this. I'm gonna get this joint 4.25. I like it. Once again, this is Mischief from the brewery out of Placentia, California. 8.5% on the ABV. I'm digging it.
So you went West Coast?
That West, y'all. This is fire, man. But
some of that ooh-wee.
Yeah, the last thing I had from the brewery was good. Oh, now you get some sediment at the bottom. Let's see what that tastes like.
Let me get some of my Pilsner sediment, man.
Hey, man, I added a little water coming out.
This is oddly reminiscent of a really good IPA. It's almost like IPA-ish without the hoppiness. So I think this is one that y'all would probably love because you're not getting
it's not as hop forward.
Yeah, just hoppy enough.
That's what's up.
Yep.
I'm loving this Pilsner though.
You said you like that Pilsner? Did you kill it?
I'm about to. Hey, what's in the red cup, brother? Some of your finest tequila.
Clase Azul.
This is tequila. This is some what is this? Don Julio.
Okay.
Julio. Yeah, but
I'm a tequila man. Tequila aficionado.
That's what's up.
Got you. We want to welcome our guest, Bryan Heyward. Bryan, like I said, I went over your bio briefly, read it. Phenomenal accolades. But we want to give you an opportunity to introduce yourself, tell us about your background, your business.
Okay. All right. Yeah. My name is Bryan Heyward. I'm the CEO of the Heyward Insurance Group. We've been in business this is our 17th year in business.
That's what's
We
up,
are,
man.
yeah.
Congrats,
Yeah,
man. Congrats. That's
absolutely,
big.
absolutely. We are an independent insurance agency. We got about 50 different insurance companies. We can custom make a policy, give you some great coverage, and hopefully save you some money. We have 3 offices: Atlanta, Georgia; Columbus, Ohio; Cincinnati, Ohio.
Yeah.
We just try to, do the best we can for people. I think we're the people's champ. We can't be around for 17 years if we didn't treat people right. So, we kind of hang our hat on great service and being having high integrity. So that's what we do.
That's what's up, man. I wish I had some of that insurance when we was kids, man. We used to beat up on me, man. Hey, me and this cat and another friend of ours, man. We used to spar all the time. No gloves.
No gloves. But nowadays these kids are so soft, man. They couldn't come up how we came up, man.
Right.
So
Yeah,
so I had my grandparents lived in Trotwood. And so half of my day would be in Trotwood, half of my day would be in Dayton. So I know a whole lot of Trotwood guys. I'm like, unofficial Trotwood guy.
Oh,
but,
yeah, man.
Yeah.
You honorary.
Unofficial.
Yeah, good guy, man. We had a good time growing up, man.
Right.
Just,
so yeah.
It's just, man, I wanted to have you on, man, because it just seemed like you really been doing your thing, man. And if you could just, talk to our audience about, what drove you to want to start your own business, and what's kept you in it. I know you said something about integrity and things like that, but what are some other things that just pushed you to that industry and just kept you there?
So let me say this: nobody growing up says that they want to be an insurance agent or they want to be in insurance. That's like
facts.
Like big facts.
Right.
Like I say, like we kind of joke with other people in the industry, in the insurance industry, we say the game chose you. Nobody nobody grows up saying they want to be in insurance. So graduated from Western Kentucky University, had a good football career there. I played for Jack Harbaugh. So Jack Harbaugh is Jim Harbaugh and John Harbaugh's dad. And so many people don't know this, but he started his coaching career in the Dayton area. So he won a state championship with Eaton. He also won a state championship with Xenia back in like the 60s.
Was you a receiver? Would you play receiver or what?
I play receiver. Right. I was a lot heavier then, but I was like a defensive tackle. So I'm slimmed down a little bit now. But after I got a degree in healthcare administration. So in the beginning, I wanted to be an administrator of a hospital. I had an intern at a healthcare facility, and it was a lot of spreadsheets, a lot of paperwork. I mean, obviously, I'm capable to do, spreadsheets and paperwork, but I think my best skill set and what I enjoy doing is what I'm doing now, talking to people, building relationships. So I did that for a while. I didn't like it. I got out of it, and I was selling life insurance in Nashville. Okay, so I started selling life insurance in Nashville with the Aon Corporation, just burial policy. So I didn't really do that well when I first started because it was such of an age gap, because I was selling just life insurance to people, burial policies, like people 60 and 70 years old. So I'm like 22. So it was like a huge age gap. It didn't fit. So after that, I went into business to business sales. So that's back when, back to early 2000s, when they first deregulated the phone companies and, first had high speed internet. So I was cold calling for 5 years. So I was going, parking on one side of the street, trading in 30 no's for one yes. So I was selling yellow page ads. I was selling phone systems. I was selling phone service. So I did that. I was like the top salesperson. And a lot of people saying, man, you need to get insurance. I think you'll do well in insurance. You do well in insurance. So I said, okay, let me go ahead and get back into it. But let me do everything. Let me do the life insurance. Let me do the auto and home. Let me do the business. Let me do everything. So there was I first started with American Family Insurance as a franchise, kind of like State Farm, Allstate, all that type of stuff. And so when I first got into it, they was telling me that I was going to have like 2,000 clients. It was somebody that was going to retire, and then I was going to be the next man up. So that never happened. They gave that book of business to somebody else. So they said, well, you know what? We don't have a book of business for you, but if you want to start, saying scratch. So scratch means no clients. Okay. If you want to start scratch, you can. So I was like, shoot, I've been cold calling, for 5 years, business to business sales. Why don't I do it for myself? I said, bet, let's do it. So I first started, my first office was on Salem Avenue in Dayton, right behind Payless shoe store, right there on Salem and what's that, Needmore, or that one street, Needmore, basically. So it was like, this was a blessing in disguise. So since this was before the do not call. So half of my day I would be going through the phone book, calling people to do a quote. And then I would also be cold calling. So long story short, after about 5 years, I became the best agent in Ohio with American Family. I had like 2,500 clients. I had like $4 million in premium. And I still wasn't making the money that I thought I should have been making. And so at that point, I said, you know what? I need to become a broker, because one insurance company can't fit everybody's needs. And insurance is so vast. You got trucking insurance, you got condo. I mean, it just goes on and on and on and on. And so one insurance company can't fit you. So I went ahead and went independent. And then with my contract with American Family, wasn't able to bring any of my clients, but I had like a non-solicitation agreement. I didn't have a non-compete. It was a non-solicitation. So as long as I didn't reach out to them, if they wanted to come with me, they could. And so since I built that business, all my clients, they knew me, they just naturally came to me. So I started independent. That went well.
So you mean to tell me hey, Bryan, you mean to tell me you ain't seen them no mail? Like, look,
oh man,
I couldn't.
you know a guy named Bryan?
Hey, on the road.
I couldn't.
He rolled up on them like he was at their churches, he was at their schools.
He was like,
oh man, fancy meeting you here.
Hey,
this is what I do now.
This is Heyward Bryan.
Right. But the good thing was I was able to keep my telephone number and keep the same location.
Okay.
So all I did was change the signage, and I kept the same telephone number. So if somebody called me, I told them I was no longer with American Family and what I was doing, they decided to come. They could come. Absolutely, it was an open door policy without question.
Exactly.
So I did that. And then I quickly figured out, after GM had left our hometown Dayton, things were starting to kind of dwindle and die. And I'm at that point, I think I'm like, what am I, like 34, 35, 33? I'm like, man, there's really, no long-term projection for Dayton. I can't have all my eggs in one basket with Dayton. And one of the things that helped me realize that is when I was doing the business-to-business cold calling, there was a lot of businesses in Dayton that had contracts with GM, okay, because GM was down the street. But a lot of those guys, that was their only contract. So when GM closed down, they closed down.
Yeah.
So as a young salesperson, I understood I can't have all my eggs in one basket, if that makes sense.
Makes perfect sense.
So that allowed me to go ahead and have the foresight to go ahead and have multiple insurance companies, own the business. I never really owned the business when I was with American Family. So, those franchises, if you wanted to sell your book of business, it has to be approved by the insurance company, and they say who can buy it, who can do whatever. But in the situation I am now, I can, give it to my kids. I can do whatever I want to do. So I start, forecasting and looking at demographics. And so it just made sense for me to expand to Columbus, coming from Dayton. So at one point I had the Dayton office, I had the Columbus office. And when I got to Columbus in 2014, that's when my life changed. So Columbus was just such a great market. You know, the people were so happy to see me. I was able to do better quality business, bigger business. And so, you know, that kind of snowballed. And then I had an opportunity to buy a building in Westchester on Cincinnati Dayton Road. So this was around the time of going into the pandemic. So when that happened, everybody was remote. So it just made sense for me to go ahead and move that Dayton office to Cincinnati, because I was already doing a lot of business in Cincinnati. And then, and what's the odds of you owning a building and you from Dayton, and the name of the street is Cincinnati Dayton Road. So that was just like kind of like prophetic in my opinion. You know what I mean? That pretty much just summed up the whole transition, Cincinnati Dayton Road. Okay. Yeah. So we got Cincinnati, we got Westchester going. I got an agent that runs that. I got some people to help me in Columbus, and we're doing really well. And basically, if we were gonna get to our goals and get the commercial business we wanted, big construction companies, shopping malls, skyscrapers, we had to go to Atlanta. Just made sense. I mean, you can't be a successful Black business and not doing any business in Atlanta. Period. You know what I mean? Yeah. So if you say who you are, I mean, if you know what you say you are is who you are, you gotta go to Atlanta. It's mandatory. Period. End of story.
The Black
big facts. You know what I mean? So go to Atlanta 10 days a month. And that was my life changed there as well. And so when I got down there and start working with the people in Atlanta Black Chamber, it's just one of those magical cities. They like, man, you came from out of state, and you know, it's a lot of love. So in Atlanta, and then I'm able to do some stuff in Atlanta that I would never be able to do in Ohio. The size, the deals I'm doing, it's just
like insuring the workers of Magic City.
Absolutely.
They get hazard insurance.
Hazard insurance. But you know what's so crazy? Just a side note, that is a culture. But you could go into a strip club and you be during the day, and business people in there doing $1 million deal for real.
Like the golf course now.
Yeah. The golf, absolutely. So yeah, so I got a residence down there, and so as far as residence, I'm in between Atlanta and Columbus, Ohio, and I go to Cincinnati, when I'm in Ohio at least 2 or 3 times a week. So I move around a little bit, but and so it just made sense for me to make those moves, and one of the best things I've ever done, and I love the business. We've been doing real well, and I can't complain. So that's my story. You know what I mean? So
that's a hell of a story, brother. That's a hell of a story.
So yeah.
Well, being, you said you've moved from Dayton to Cincinnati, Dayton to Columbus to Cincinnati to Atlanta. Right. What was your marketing plan when you got into these new areas?
So my marketing plan was, one, I do a lot with the Black Chamber. So I'm a member of 3 different Black chambers, period. And then I'm a proponent for Black business, you know what I mean? And entrepreneurship, you know what I mean? That's my passion. That's my heart. You know what I mean? So I do a lot with them. And then really my biggest marketing, I don't do a lot of commercials. I don't do a lot of stuff. The majority of my business comes from word of mouth. So like, we just try to like really, really focus on service. My agents that we have, I'm a little bit unique. I don't have them on a commission. I mean, not on a commission, but a quota, because I want them to be able to explain, why they're getting what they're getting, explain the coverages, take time with people. So when you take time with people and they understand why they have what they have, it's a good possibility that they're going to refer other people and, add products and things of that nature. So that's been my model, just to kind of build with my current clients and, and get referrals. So that's pretty much how it's been. So, and then, like I said, we've been in business for 17 years. So we got a good name in the industry. So you know, we're doing okay.
I mean, that in itself should be a record. You know what I mean? A black owned insurance company, 17 years. Have you looked that up? Like, I mean, what's
Not now. Yes, I have looked that up. And then speaking of Cincinnati, and actually, I just left the National African American Insurance Association. But Gerald Tillman, he started that association, and he kind of
Okay.
started in Dayton, which is
Okay.
crazy.
That's crazy.
He's from Springfield, started an insurance business in Dayton, went to Cincinnati. But yeah, I mean, there are a lot of us that's been around for a while, not a whole lot. You know, unfortunately, the powers that be and the other people in America, they don't want to highlight people like myself and other successful black businesses, because, you know, we would kind of I don't know, we will probably, I don't know, change the dynamics, if that makes sense.
Right.
So I run into a lot of successful black people that nobody talks about, if that makes sense.
Okay.
And successful businesses, but
Well, hey, that's why
you
you on. That's why you on the Hops and Stocks podcast, man. So we can tell the world.
and I appreciate it.
Is there a because I know a couple other athletes who have insurance companies. Is there something that about the insurance game that draws in the athlete?
I would say yes and no. Yes, because if you are like a standout athlete, or you got like you know, a name for, you know, doing well in basketball or football, you know, a State Farm or Allstate or Nationwide, it's easy for them to market you, if that makes sense. But and then, you know, you might get a couple policies or a couple clients from your name. But I can't really say that that's really going to help you, if that makes sense. What I can say, athletics helps you as far as being in business, especially being in insurance, is because it's just it's a hard grind. So, like, you know, it's just like you got to be able to like pull from different experiences where, you know, versus you was in 2-a-days or, you know, different situations. You know, especially when I was cold calling. I don't cold call that much anymore. I mean, yeah, you got to have a conversation with yourself in the mirror. You know, you trading in 30 no's for 1 yes. You know, like a lot of salespeople, we joke and stuff, especially if you 100% commission. You know, so you waking up every morning with a gun to your head. You know what I mean? Either you gonna make something happen, or you and your family not gonna eat. So.
Yeah.
I mean, so yeah, you got to dig deep, but to say that because you're an athlete, you're going to automatically be successful in it, no.
Mr. Heyward, I'm glad we got you on the show. I think we talked about it for a while, but you're the first person we've had to touch on insurance, and I want to ask you, from a product standpoint, what are some of the things that, you know, us as young African Americans need to consider when it comes to insurance?
We ain't young, man. We ain't young no more, bro.
middle-aged African Americans, middle age, I guess.
I mean, middle age. I would say probably off the muscle. We got to get some life insurance off the muscle. So we're not talking about a gazillion dollar policy. You know, I tell my clients, let's just get something. I don't want you to be insurance poor. I don't want you to be able to not, you know, take the kids to get pizza because you got to pay life insurance premium, but at least get something in place, at least get some type of, at least a term policy. So if you get a term policy is a temporary insurance life insurance policy that allows you to buy a lot of insurance for a little bit of money. And let's at least start there. So we want to, you know, protect loss of income if something were to happen to you. You got kids and you got a wife. You want to make sure that they're able to continue to live. We want to make sure you pay off your debts, pay off your mortgage. And then, you know, then as time goes on, we could do insurance reviews and then, you know, add more insurance or do other things. But we have to at least get you some type of life insurance for sure.
Gotcha.
Is there a difference? And I'm glad you brought that up, man, because I want to jump off into it's a conversation we've been trying to have for the longest, life insurance. So we might as well jump into it since we're there. What's the difference between what I get at work versus what going outside to an actual business such as yourself? What's the difference between those policies?
So that is a great question. Great question. So what you have at work is a group benefit. Okay. So I always tell people you want to keep what you have at work. I mean, they're only taking out what $3, $5, $10 every pay period, you know, and you got $500,000, $600,000. So that's a group benefit life plan. It will pay out while you are working there. But when you retire, you can't take it with you. So that's why you need to have an individual life insurance policy that you own, because you know you could change jobs, they could downsize, you could get fired, a lot of things can happen. And you know, if you're just depending on that group benefit, if something were to happen, you won't have any coverage if you're no longer working for that employer. Also, you want to get something now while you're younger and still keep the group benefit life insurance, because you don't want to be 65, 68, 69 years old after you retire looking for life insurance.
Yeah.
Because you know, the
It's hard to
premiums
get
will
it
be
at that age.
astronomical.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Deny.
So right. So
Like,
that's
about
what
to
we
die.
tell
Why
people.
am I going to insure you?
Right.
You got one
Absolutely.
foot in,
Absolutely.
man. You know what I mean? Try to get your money. Try to get your money next month.
Right. So that's why I said it's best to go ahead and do that now. And then, you know, another benefit of it, you know, you can add a child rider, you know, for $5, and it covers all of your kids. So as each kid is born, they automatically covered. And then when they become 25, they're guaranteed insurable. You can write whatever type of life insurance policy, you know, you want to have on them. So, you know, Lord forbid one of your kids, you know, as time goes on, get a disease or a life-threatening illness.
Yeah.
But since they was insured under you, they're guaranteed insurable. So we want to at least start with the life insurance and then keep an individual policy that you own, and you can make changes, but still keep what you have at work. Because you can never have enough death benefits. So both of them pay out if something were to happen.
Right. And I don't know if this is a general question, but so say your average healthy 30-year-old wants $1 million policy. What does that look like from a monthly payment type thing?
Well, it depends. If you're getting like a permanent policy is like a universal life or a whole life policy that accumulates cash value. So I don't know if you ever heard somebody say that they're going to take a loan on their policy, or they're going to cash in their policy. So life insurance is after tax benefit. So what that means is the gains that you get from your life insurance, because you're going to get compounded interest. So as time goes on, your death benefit is going to increase, your cash value is going to increase. And depending on when you get it, it could be, your cash value could be 2 to 3 times what you put into the policy. And you don't pay any taxes on that gain versus, you know, stocks. You know, you pay taxes on the gain when you sell your stocks or what have you. And so I don't know what that'll be. Ballpark, I would say probably 30 years old, maybe a couple $100 a month for a permanent policy. A term policy might be $150 or something like that a month. So you know,
term is you're paying into like X amount of years, right?
Correct. So term, so term is basically used for debt and loss of income. So, you know, obviously the whole premise of term is it's not a permanent policy. You get it in intervals, 10, 20, 30 years. A lot of times, you know, especially if you got a mortgage, you got student loan, you know, things of that nature, you want to have a term policy. So me personally, I have both. So I have term for my debt, and then I also have a universal life that has a compounded interest rate that's going to give me permanent insurance, and it also has an investment component built into it. And I can access the cash value without paying any taxes on my gain.
So you could, meaning that you can take a loan against your insurance policy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. You could take a loan against your insurance, or you can cancel a policy and take the cash value. But yeah, so it's a permanent policy. So it costs a little bit more, but there are a lot of benefits for it. But you know, depending on where you are, like people our age, I try to recommend people get both if you can. If you can't, let's start with term, and then as time goes on, you can convert a portion of it to a permanent policy. So let's just say you had $500,000 a term and things got a little bit better for you. You want to get some permanent insurance. we could take 50,000 of that and put it in permanent and keep the other 450,000 in term.
I'm about to holler at you, man, because
Yeah.
my wife and I, we signed up for life insurance, years ago.
Right.
And when you sign up, it's not like you're really not educated. You know what I mean?
Right.
The person that was talking to us, they were trying to kind of get us to know what we were signing up for. But, as I hear you talk, I don't know what I signed up for real. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I gotta,
Right.
I'm gonna have to go back and revisit our policy to see if we have the term or the permanent, and
Right.
to see that whole thing of taking a loan out on or cash value. I don't know none of that. So I appreciate you dropping those gems, man. Now, if you took a loan out on the policy, what rate does it base itself off of? Is it time rate or what?
So basically two things. So basically, you can do that with a permanent policy, universal life or whole life policy. So two things. So if you did take a loan, so like I said, as time goes on, the compounded interest is going to give you double to triple the cash value what you put into it.
Yeah.
And so let's just say, I'm gonna answer this in two ways. So let's just say you had $100,000 universal life policy and you had $40,000 of cash value. Okay. And you decided to borrow 20,000. Okay.
So 40,000 cash value means that you've invested $40,000 so far.
No,
the compounded interest.
Compounded interest. You might only paid into it 15 or 20 something thousand, but you got $40,000 of cash value.
Got you.
So that's not what you paid into the policy. No. So let's just say you took out $20,000, and then if you passed before you had a chance to pay it back, they will give your beneficiaries $80,000, which is a $20,000 minus the death benefit. You got me? Mm-hmm. And so the interest rate is only maybe 4 or 5%. It's not no 8 or 9 or 10% what this interest rate is now. And basically they give you this little booklet, and you can pay it back while you're paying your insurance premium. So if you want the policy to perform at the end of the day and have the numbers that was projected, you would need to pay it back.
Okay.
Yeah. Fellas, my parents, unbeknownst to me, my parents, got me kind of like what Mr. Heyward was saying. They got me when I was a kid. They got me my own whole insurance policy. They got it for all three of us, me, my brother, and my sister. And when we bought this house that we got right now, my dad was just kind of came up to me out of nowhere, I got this policy that, we've had on you. If you want to, use it for a loan for your down payment, you can. So he transferred it to me, and I used that loan, took that loan out, used it as my down payment, and we got the crib, and I was just like, damn, Pops had some foresight to even think of that.
Right.
And, yeah, I'm glad you mentioned it, Mr. Heyward, because it sounds like something that is beneficial to building wealth.
It is
generational. Passing it down. So
that's one thing that that the Black community, I feel like, is undereducated, and they don't understand the resources, because every time somebody passes, you see somebody put out a GoFundMe, and I'm like, man, insurance don't cost that much, man.
That's exactly what my dad said. He was like, I don't never want to see any of my kids on the news or any of that kind of ish talking about I need money.
Yeah.
So,
you know what I'm saying?
Like, that's why you got it.
And Blast, I'm glad you didn't go down to Atlanta and trick it off, man. That was good. That was
I'm trying to keep it square, man.
But
we might have to get up with Mr. Heyward though, since I know where he operates at.
Right, he got an Atlanta office.
Right. Yeah, so I got a side office in Magic City.
So honestly, your parents did you a great service. And then when you get it at a younger age, I mean, you got time for the money to accumulate. You got time for the compounded interest to take effect, and you're getting a permanent life insurance policy at the lowest premium imaginable.
Yeah,
versus you waiting to get it now in your 40s. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, they did you a great service by getting you that policy. And then other ethnic groups, as soon as the baby is born, they give me a call. But
right, and I'm gonna give you a call.
I'm gonna give you a call too, man. I need to get my kids set up for that too.
Is there is there a point where you stop paying the premium? Like if you put in, just say you had a $500,000 policy,
Right.
and you paid in $500,000. Just say you got it at 25, and by
Right.
40 you had paid that much. Do you stop paying and that, or you continue?
Well, I mean, it depends. I mean, there are very few policies where you can pay more than the death benefit or more than the cash value. So I mean, that's kind of hard to imagine. But I mean, if you didn't want any life insurance anymore, then like I said, you can always cancel it, or you could take a loan out on it and don't pay it back and just let it lapse out. But it'll never be a situation where you're gonna really pay more for, you know, the policy than the death benefit, unless somebody signed. Go ahead.
I think I meant like, just say my policy is, let's make a more realistic number.
Okay.
My policy is 250. I've
Right.
paid in cash 250, and I'm 45 years old. So does
Right.
that policy continue to compound interest and I stop paying the premium, or, you know what I'm saying? Because I've quote unquote bought the insurance policy.
So in the beginning, when you're signing up for it, you can kind of get it where you just pay it till you age 100. You could pay it for 20 years. You could pay it for 30 years. You could pay it for 15 years. So let's just say you had a 20 year where you paid for 20 years, but you insured to age 100. So after that 20 years, you'll be done. You will still accumulate cash value.
Okay.
You will still have a death benefit. But like I said, you would be hard pressed to find a policy where you pay, not unless somebody signed you up for age 5 and you paying all the way to age 100. I mean, would you kind of pay more than the death benefit? But that typically doesn't happen, if that makes sense.
Can you insure your adult kids? So like my kids are in their 20s. I have a 21-year-old and a 24-year-old. Could I start a policy for them now, or
you can start a policy for them? You can be the owner, but they will have to sign off on it. So in the past, you know, you could put life insurance on anybody, but they made like a law, I want to say maybe like 10 years ago, because it was like a lot of people in like California, Beverly Hills, they was insuring homeless people, you know, that they had no insurable interest, had no relationship with them. And, you know, when they came up missing, you know, they were getting money. And so
that's crazy.
Right, getting paid out. So yeah, so they made all types of laws and stuff like that. So yes, you can, you know, put a policy on them, but they have to sign off on it, knowing that they, you know, agree to it.
Like if your kid a meth head or something, and you like, look, I'm gonna get some insurance on you because you're gonna be checking up out of here.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. They still got to sign off on it.
And that won't impact them if they went and got their own, would it?
No. So what I tell people, and it's funny, I just had a conversation with somebody about this the other day, and they were talking about putting some life insurance on their child. They were like 18 or 19. I told them, you know, kind of like Mr. Diggs, I was saying, go ahead and get them a permanent policy that accumulates the cash value, because they want to get term for them. So I was telling them, and then when they become an adult, let them get term. When they have a family, when they're going to get a mortgage, term is also referred to as mortgage protection. Let them do the mortgage protection, but at least you're giving them the gift of a permanent policy that has accumulated cash value for sure. So yes. But I recommend if they're a younger kid, get them a permanent policy for sure.
Man, y'all get big time knowledge on the show tonight for sure, man.
How much you paying out for a permanent for like a 14-year-old or, you know?
I mean, yeah, for a 14-year-old, I mean, you could probably get 50,000 for like $27 a month, bro.
Always put out the exact age.
$27 a month, bro. It ain't nothing crazy, man.
How much would it cost for insert government name of my child?
How much for a future soccer star? Can I insure her legs?
Yeah,
right.
They're gonna need some different insurance. He's gonna need some different.
Right. Yeah.
They're trying to insure her feet, man.
Right.
I'm trying to make sure. I mean, that's what athletes do, don't they? Insure their
they do disability. Like Tina Turner, she got her legs insured through Lloyd's of London. What's that? Michael Buffer? let's get ready to rumble. He got his
voice,
he got his
voice.
throat insured, you know what I mean? Absolutely, for sure, yeah. Without question. Yeah, and then a lot of athletes, you know, when they decide to stay another year in college, they'll get a big insurance policy, you know, kind of like a disability or something were to happen. For sure.
Willis McGahee, I think, was the first one that did that. He had the
he might not have been the first one, but I think it was the first one we knew about.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So like I said, that's what so going back to my point, I was like, the insurance is so vast. I mean, you could do stuff like that, you know, insuring Tina Turner legs, skyscrapers, dump trucks, condo associations. It's just it's endless. It's so vast.
Yeah, we're gonna have to have you back because we ain't even really touched on all of the different products that we probably should be thinking about. So
what would you say to the GoFundMe community? And once again, I'm not knocking people, you know what I'm saying, GoFundMe, because if that's your only means of having your loved ones buried, that's cool. But I guess I'm speaking from a perspective of, I pay like you said, $3-4 for a $500,000 policy through my job.
Right.
Obviously everybody might not have that type of benefit, but I mean, you're throwing out numbers that seem relatively low. I mean, it's the price of a dinner to get some insurance to bury your
right. I mean, what I would say, man, man, please take care of your business. I would hate for people to be doing a GoFundMe for me, you know, to give me a proper burial. And then on top of that, I mean, there's a lot of scammers associated with that. So you know, I was just watching American Greed, and it was talking about these people doing the GoFundMe and all this stuff and keeping all the money. And I mean, you just don't want to be in that situation. So I try to stay away from the GoFundMes. Not to say that those people don't have a good heart, but do we know that all those funds are going to where they're supposed to be going?
Right.
You know what I mean? So,
Hey,
and then too,
somebody,
you know, if I pass, I mean, I think that's embarrassing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that kind of tarnishes your legacy if you don't have some type of life insurance or some money, you know, because I mean, really, you didn't handle your business. I shouldn't say that, but
it's preventable for the cost that it is. I mean, it's preventable, man.
Yeah. My mom passed 2 years ago, and she was ill with ALS, and that was the biggest thing when she got diagnosed. She made sure she had life insurance because she didn't want to suffer the embarrassment of us, and we wouldn't have did no GoFundMe anyway. Like, I'm gonna make sure my mom is good, but she made sure she had a small insurance policy that basically it paid for, you know what I'm saying, all of her final services, and it also put, you know what I'm saying, a couple dollars back into her kids' pockets. And I'm not sure how much the policy was, but it was enough to make sure that, one, we didn't have the stress of wondering, like, damn, how are we gonna bury our mom? Like, all of that was covered. You know what I'm saying? And when you go to these funeral homes and these you know what I'm saying, these funeral directors, all you do is give them the policy number and they just handle everything. You know what I'm saying? You don't gotta worry about that.
So I'm glad you said that. So one of the things that we offer, one of our many services is I kind of told you, we kind of hang our hat on service and making people understand why they're purchasing what they're purchasing, you know, and then two, doing insurance reviews. So make sure you understand what you have and adding stuff, making sure we don't have no gaps. And when you do that, and, you know, we tell people, okay, here's your life insurance policy. If something were to happen, make sure your beneficiaries contact us. And one of the things we tell them is never, ever give your policy to the funeral director, period, point blank. You know what I mean? Because if the funeral is really 8,000 and he said you got 20,000, he gonna try to take the 20,000.
Oh yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Like, nah.
Right. So what we do, we got like a form and that we can send them to say, hey, you know, this person does have life insurance. We don't put the amount on there. They have an active policy. They're going through the claims process. You know, we get you together. But some of these funeral directors, man, I've seen them where they've kind of had it where like a power of attorney, like you basically signing your life insurance policy over to them, man. It gets so that's why I said you never ever, you know, just like, you know, my out on home clients, like, you got some roof damage, and the insurance company give you 10,000. You never ever tell the roof contractor that you got 10,000.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Period.
we didn't do that. We just told them that we had a policy in place.
Okay, all right, got you.
Yeah, but that's good information to know. We just told them we had a
Yeah.
policy in place.
Well, y'all was smart.
Yeah,
You
we
were
didn't
smart,
know
but like
the
I said,
amount.
I've been around long enough to see where people actually brought the policy in.
Oh no, we didn't do that. But that's
Like, okay, they got this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't do that. Don't do
Man.
that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
I'm
Yeah.
telling y'all, man, the audience, listening audience, man, y'all are getting some gems tonight. Mr. Heyward is bringing it, man. If there's an episode you need to listen to, this is the
Right.
one.
I'm trying to figure out why y'all both on like last name, man. Mr. Diggs and Mr. Heyward. I'm trying to figure that out.
Respect thing, man. Some respect.
Man, yeah. I mean, you said we wasn't young no more, so I'm putting some respect out there.
You see all this wisdom in our face, you know?
Right,
what I mean?
right.
So,
Hey, Brian. Hey, I'm gonna call you B. Hey, B, man. So, how'd you get over the hurdle of people being able to trust that the money was gonna be there? You know, you're not tied to like an Allstate or a big name. So, how'd you get over that hurdle of people like, man? So, what if y'all go out of business, or what happens in this case? What if the business,
well, so we've done so well that we have a lot of the captive insurance companies. I sell Nationwide. I sell Allstate.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So we got all the big boys. So we've been able to, in most cases, with our longevity and provide a business case as to why, they should let us represent their products. And then we also been around long enough whereas to those people come knocking on our doors. So, we're the broker. So, I can provide, I can give you a list I can provide you 3 quotes and you decide which one you want to go with. I can give you the pluses and the minuses and, but I'm still your agent, if that makes sense. So,
yeah, that makes sense.
yeah.
I'm just talking about like early on. Was that a hurdle?
I mean, early on it was difficult. But I guess, man, like I said, just taking care of business, having a high level of integrity, saying, doing what you say you're gonna do, and always being there. So like I said, man, we just always had, high Google reviews. We always, just did the right thing, and so people just trusted us.
So is it transferable? Like, can I take my policy that I have now with, and transfer it, to you or with you? Yeah,
you can. So that's what it's so kind of like. Brother Diggs just said, like his dad signed a policy over to him. So so I had a situation here recently where and the government's a trip. So this lady, she had been working all her life. I don't know if she's on disability or what have you, but long story short, she's a senior, but she's in like that senior government housing, like, based on income. Mm-hmm. And so her burial policy, got up to like $8,000 or $9,000 of cash value. And so the government was aware of that. And so the government came to her and said, listen, either you got to get rid of that life insurance or we taking you off, your subsidies, if that makes sense.
She had too much money.
She had too much money because when you're in those situations, the government will reach out to us and say, hey, what's the cash value? We got to send in forms every year, Right. And so during the pandemic, they kind of slacked off. I guess they got a jogger after the pandemic. And then they reached out to us and they was like, we had to send her how much cash value she had. And they was like, man, we about to take you off, your senior housing. We about to take you off all, everything you have. So she went ahead and signed that policy over to her daughter. Her daughter was the beneficiary anyway, but her daughter now owns the policy. And so she has the cash value and all of that type of stuff. So yes, you can, I kind of, explained it with an example, but yes, you can sign it over for sure.
But it still applies to her mom though. So when her mom,
so her mom is still insured, okay, but her daughter owns the policy. Okay. So the reason why, and then she was able to keep all of her subsidies and everything she was getting from the government, because yes, she was still insured, but she no longer owned the policy, so she didn't have any assets associated with the policy, cash value and things of that nature, because they was looking at that as money to the bank because she would
Exactly.
get money from the government. She also had the ability to tap into the cash value if she wanted it, if that makes sense.
Right. So she was being audited, and during the audit,
Right.
they like, look, you got too much money.
Right,
Look, you got too much
right,
money.
right. So she was like, man, I'm not gonna have. So you mean to tell me I got to cancel my life insurance and da 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 da? So she was ready to do that. It's like, no. Let's we gonna go ahead and sign it over. Here's the paperwork. We're gonna sign over ownership to your daughter. You will still be insured. Your daughter just take over the premium payments. Something were to happen, then they'll go ahead and still pay out. But you don't have to worry about, having that line item for asset and cash value, and you can still keep all your subsidies.
So you answered the question, I mean, perfectly, but my question was really
I know what your question was.
Yeah, the policy I have now.
I think Doug trying to bring his business to you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if I wanted to take my policy, I mean, what will happen?
Oh, you talking about, can you transfer it to another company? That's what you're saying?
Yeah, that's pretty much.
No, well, you can't really transfer it to another company. I mean, you can't transfer it to another company. You could do that with an annuity, but not with a life insurance policy.
Okay.
So yeah, so what you would do, so to avoid the cancellation penalty, I would just tell you to do the maximal loan amount possible, which is 90%. Keep that other 10% there, and that policy will just continue to go until that 10% of cash value is dissolved, and then you can start another policy. But you can take that cash value and roll it into your new policy. So let's just say we sat down and we sat down and I had a policy that's going to give you, 6% compounded interest, and you getting 2% now. You can take that cash value and roll it into the new policy, and then you'll start getting the increased interest rate on your new policy.
So you meant to take 90%. Are you talking about taking a loan out on that 90% of the cash value?
Yes. Because if you cancel the policy, there is a cancellation provision. Yeah. So let's just say, and these are just fictitious numbers. Let's just say you had $10,000 over cash value, and then let's just say the cancel provision was $1,500. So now you down to $8,500 versus taking 90% of it. You take the 9,000. You got me?
Yeah.
And then just let that other $10,000. You still be insured on that other policy until that cash value was eliminated, because that cash value, that 10% that was still in there, it would still fund the policy if you didn't make any more payments until you didn't have any more money left.
Gotcha. So that's how people have like multiple life insurance policies.
Well, I don't want to say that was the goal, but just as time goes on, different things happen. Like, your mom could have got you one was you was in your 20s, and then you got one was you using your 30s, and then you needed something else in your 40s. So I don't think it's ever been a situation where like somebody needed $100,000 and then they go get 4 $25,000 policies, unless they got like a illness or something they're trying to keep under the radar. But most people don't do that.
Gotcha.
Bryan, can you and I'm applying this to a specific experience that I had. Can you underwrite anywhere? Because I recently, I transferred I was living in Kansas before I moved to Tennessee. So like when I was going to write my Tennessee insurance, they was like, well, we can't underwrite in Tennessee. So we have to transfer you to a Tennessee agent so you can start the policy there.
Right. Yeah. So we have a number of licenses. We in a couple of different states. I'm not in Tennessee. I probably need to get in Tennessee. Like I said, I know so many people down there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so it just depends on where you have that license.
Hey, you must be eating good without Tennessee. You must be eating good without. I mean, because there's a lot of meat on the bone.
Right.
Yo, I can't even help you, bro. Like I done dropped all these jewels on you, but I can't even help you.
Right. But yeah, I need. And another thing too is just that each state has different insurance laws, if that makes sense. So like what's allowable in Ohio or what's allowable in Georgia, or how things are processed in Kentucky might be totally different from a Kansas or a Tennessee. So it just depends on, what you're trying to do, if that makes sense, as far as an insurance agent.
Okay. So yeah, I'm sorry, I can't help you, bro.
But we gonna do that, because matter of fact, I just had a client, man, and you know, Nashville's so crazy, man. They had to buy a house in Clarks Vegas, and they drive to Nashville every day. But that's just like the new reality down there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's, you know, it's just crazy down there right now. You know what I mean? So they say like 100 people a day
Let me
moving
know
there.
so I can come to
Yeah,
you.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, soon as I get on there, yeah, for sure, absolutely. And then my son was going to Tennessee State, so I used to go down there, you know, all the time. Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
I can dig it.
Yeah,
You
I'm
better
sure,
stay out the
man.
cafeteria, man.
Yeah.
But your dad always up in the calf, man. What's going on?
Right. Yeah, some of
Hey,
that.
B, man, we appreciate you hopping on with us, man. Can you let our listeners know how they can get in touch with you if they trying to maybe do some business in Ohio or Georgia?
The easiest way, man, is just through my website. We got a number of different numbers, and just go to www.heywardgroupllc.com, HEYWARD Group LLC.com. And it has information about the company, has all our contact information. And on the top of the page, it has contact us. You can, you know, always reach out to us, you know, via email or, you know, shoot us a message, and we'll be happy to help you for sure.
Any socials?
Yeah. We got the Heyward Insurance Group all on. We got different pages on Facebook. And then as far as me, Instagram, bhay52, and Bryan Heyward on our Facebook. But yeah, you know, I'm kind of transitioning more to IG than, you know, Facebook. But yeah, so yeah, I'm more of an IG guy now. So.
I'm gonna go ahead and flex for you, man. There was a couple of things on your social that you was over in Dubai, man. So you must be doing well for yourself, man.
Right. Absolutely. So it was my daughter's 16th birthday, and so, you know, my kids grew up a little bit different than me. I never went on vacation. The only thing that I could look forward to as a kid, I was gonna go to Kings Island once.
Right, going swimming. Hey, going swimming. Well, we look forward to going swimming.
Yeah.
Americana, Family Farm.
Like, hey, the Aquatic Club. Y'all remember the Aquatic Club?
The Aquatic Club. Yeah, all that stuff. Yeah.
I mean, Americana.
So my thing was, in the beginning, you know, a lot of my travel, since I was like a better insurance agent, I was selling so much premium that a lot of insurance companies were sending me all across the world. So one of my big objectives was I wanted to give my kids some culture. I wanted them to see other places. So, you know, at 16, she's been to Dubai, Hawaii, Jamaica. I mean, every summer we was going somewhere, her and my son. So the only place she hadn't been was Dubai, and she wanted to go there for her 16th birthday. So, you know, we had to make that happen. So, yeah, that's just kind of, you know, that was one of the things I wanted to do, because I never traveled as a kid, and I just wanted my kids to be more open-minded, you know, understand it's a whole vast world outside of America in the Midwest. So that was just one of my things that I wanted to do as a parent, if that makes sense.
Perfect sense. Like Doug said, man, we appreciate having you on, man. You really,
for sure,
you know, drop some jewels, and we appreciate, you know, anybody that brings some value to our listeners, man. So excellent job.
Yeah, like I said, it's a conversation we've been waiting to have for probably since the onset of the podcast, man. Life insurance, man, is really important, man. Like I said, every time somebody passes unexpectedly, you see the GoFundMe, and it's like, man. And once again, I'm looking from a corporate standpoint where my insurance is only a couple bucks, but coming from you, insurance is still only a couple bucks. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
For a policy that covers those final expenses. And
you know, you was able to explain all that on 2 cups of tequila, man. So you
Absolutely.
Man, all right, man. Go sign us off.
Yeah, you welcome back anytime, man. Like Blast said, there's so many levels to insurance, and you know what I'm saying, hopping off into the investment piece and stuff like that is, you know what I'm saying, some other avenues that we can look at. And I recently had a family friend start talking to me about life insurance, and that's how it's kind of turned on to some of the investment pieces. Because I didn't know you could borrow against life insurance. I didn't know you could use it to fund different things. So it's of interest to me. And like we always say, a lot of times we learn a lot from our guests. You know what I'm saying? We're students of our guests every time they come on. So thank you once again.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The
Anytime.
Heyward Group
I
LLC.
appreciate y'all having me. I'm a big fan of the podcast. I've
Appreciate
always
it.
been checking y'all out. I've been following y'all on social media for sure. Peace and love.
I
Absolutely.
appreciate it. Hey, next time you in Westchester, man, hit me up.
Yeah.
I
For
got your
sure,
number,
for sure.
man, so we can go
Hey,
out.
and I'm gonna tell Van Meter hit you
Yeah.
for sure.
Hey, I must got the wrong number because I texted him and somebody said no oblets or something. I'm like, okay, well, that's the wrong number.
Right. So I'll make sure I definitely got your number. I'll make sure that I give it to him for sure.
All right, we meet at Mangoes.
That he was the best man at my wedding. That's still my best friend for sure. We talk 2-3 times a week without question.
And once again, we want to thank y'all for joining the Hops and Stocks podcast. This episode 58. Signing off. We out.
Peace and love, family.
Peace.
Hey, man.
Appreciate you, man.
Be good, dog.
Thank
All
you,
right.
sir.
Holla at y'all.
He said, thank you, sir.
Be a shell of a man if we ever depart. From my heart to I'm riding with you.
I'm riding with you.